Hello, my name is Kimberly, and this is my channel, The Amazing Kimmeth. Today, we are going over the novella Wildlands, The River People by Sam Carnes. This book is a novella. It's only 105 pages. However, I'm going to try to not have any spoilers at all. It may be a little difficult with it being such a short book, but I believe it's possible. So let's get into this. In this story, it starts off that we are in Virginia. This is now called the Wildlands. It's been 10 years since civilization collapsed. They go into a little bit of what happened, but that really doesn't matter anymore. Everyone is going by some nickname. Sometimes there's a story behind it. Sometimes it's not much to it. The main character, his name is Camo. And Camo, he is trying to quit his job. Right now, he is a bounty hunter, bounty killer for a character known as the Man. He has two people that he's really close to, his brother, Longrider, and a close friend named Shaman. At the main character, Camo, he has nightmares about his brother and a girl drowning. He's not too sure. It's kind of disturbing, but he's not too sure what this means or anything like that. He can't really see the face of the girl, but this dream is really sticking with him. So Camo, Longrider, and Shaman, they go and they see the Man, and Camo decides he's going to tell the Man, hey, I'm going to quit. But the Man, he kind of gives him a stipulation. He's like, all right, let you off for 2 weeks. If you can go 2 weeks without getting into any sort of violence, I'll let you off scot-free. If not, you're going to still work for me. Camo was like, you know what? Not a bad idea. So he decides he's going to go on vacation. He's going to go fishing. While Longrider, Camo, and Shaman are visiting the Man and at his little compound, they hear some politics. There is a man named Magnus. He was the fuel guy in this post-apocalyptic America. He was murdered, but not by the Man, not by anybody that worked for the Man. The Man has Magnus's daughter, and he decided that he's going to release this daughter to the brother in an act of good faith, that they're still going to be on good terms, that everything's going to be gravy, and they'll work together from here on out. So he takes the night off, and in the morning he gets his stuff together. He has to go and see a man called Oddjob because he had wrecked his bike a little earlier. He and Oddjob talk. He gets some background info on Oddjob. He gets more of a scooter than a motorcycle, but hey, it's post-apocalyptic America. You get what you can get, right? So he gets on this scooter, and then he goes off to his favorite fishing spot, and then he comes across the aftermath of an ambush. And then he finds out that the only survivor in this ambush is the brother of a girl who had been kidnapped and then released. So now they're trying to figure out, all right, what is going on? What happened to this girl? And then that leads to some more issues. There's a little bit of a backstory. Camo tried to kill Eric while they were trying to kidnap Helena, who is Magnus's daughter, Eric's sister. This makes Eric not trust Camo to begin with. However, Camo is like, look, dude, I just quit my job. I just want to go fishing. And with that, they're able to get together, and then they decide, hey, if we're going to go and try to rescue Helena, we need something more than just what we have strapped to us right now. So they go back to Oddjob and they figure some things out. They get some ammunition and some firearms, and they also get some kayaks because they realize that the folks that took Helena, they're going down the river. And with that, Oddjob has some stories to tell. There's some girls throughout the past few years that have gone missing, and you always hear about the river people, the river people. There's a guy that Oddjob knows who makes really good moonshine, so the story may or may not be believable because the guy was pretty drunk when he saw fires in the middle of the river downstream. And this was about the time when one of the girls in the past few years had gone missing. So Camo thinks this might be something, might not be, but it's not going to hurt to find out. So they decide to take these kayaks that Oddjob gave them, and they head down the river to the specific rock that has been described, and hopefully they'll find the girl. However, they know it's going to take several hours to get there by kayak. Just as the sun starts to set, they come across the island and they see this crazy ritual going on. They hear drumming, they see fires, the fires are set, there's multiple fires set up in a very specific way, and then the people start chanting, and these river people are chanting Cthulhu. There's this beast that comes out of the river, and then they decide they need to do something. The brother, Eric, he starts firing. Crazy action happens. There's a lot of killing, there's a lot of slaying, there's a lot of everything going on with this. Amidst all the chaos that was going on, they hear others shooting, and they realize that Oddjob had let Shaman and Longrider know what was going on, and they come and they help Eric and Camo save the day. And after everything is cleared up on this river rock, Camo gets himself together and he goes to see the man. And that's where I'm going to end telling the story, because any more would be spoilers. I do have some links down in the description for this book. The author has the book available on Amazon, I think in Kindle, but definitely in print. There are some likes and dislikes that I had about this book. It is definitely a fun adventure book. It does have a lot of witty jokes. I was giggling, even though it was some lowbrow humor. I was definitely giggling and laughing as I was reading this book. It definitely has some of those 80s action movie mentions and feel to it. Like, I felt like the narrator was Clint Eastwood. I definitely felt like I had like Dirty Harry talking to me the whole time, telling me about this adventure. The dislikes that I had, I felt like the exposition explained a little too much with some of the slang. I felt like the narrator went into a little too much with that. Like, I know what the man is supposed to mean, but I do get why the author was speaking like that, because this is a post-apocalyptic future and people may not understand slang from the 90s and early 2000s. I would give this book a 4.5 out of 5. It's a book I would read again. I've read it twice already, and I would definitely suggest someone to read it, especially if you got just a couple short hours on your hands. It's a good, easy book to flip through and get a good chuckle in, as well as having those epic adventure feels. So, have you read this book? What did you think about it? And what should I read next?